In today's video, we're talking about this guy here, the tripod collar mount. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today, we're going to talk about this thing here. This is the tripod collar mount. This is something that you will see on some of the bigger and heavier lenses that are produced. And it is a mounting mechanism that you use to mount your camera and lens onto a tripod. Now, this is something that I spoke about in the context of something else a couple of years ago in a video, but I'm still getting some questions, which is why I'm making this video today. So one of the things that I see people do sometimes, especially beginners, and even some non-beginners as well, is when they go to mount a lens such as this one, and this is the Canon 70-200, by the way, and it is a heavy lens. This is about, I think it's 1.5 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds. It's probably about, what, 3.5 pounds. And they try to mount this onto a tripod. What they'll do is they treat it like any other lens. So what they do is they go and mount the lens or the camera onto the tripod, okay? Just make sure that's tight there, okay? And they use it in that manner there. Now, there's a couple of problems with this. First of all, this lens is super heavy. Like I said, 1.5 kilos. Compared to the camera, this weighs, several times what the camera weighs. And what you're doing by setting it up this way is you're placing quite a large stress on the mount of the camera, so the actual lens mount itself. Now, this one here has a metal mount on the 5D Mark IV, but some of the cheaper cameras will have a plastic one, so you're always running the risk of maybe cracking that mount. And regardless of whether you've got a metal one or a plastic one, you should never mount your camera on a tripod using this sort of mechanism. The second problem that you have is that set up in this way, the camera is completely off balance. So what I'll do is I'll just slowly loosen up the ball head here, and you'll see what happens. The camera is going to tilt forward, okay? Because if I loosen it up all the way, it just wants to lean forward. So, and that's because the camera is it's out of balance. So the correct way to mount these, just take it out of here, is you'll notice that on the bottom of the collar, the tripod collar, is a screw hole to mount another plate. So this is just another tripod plate, the same one that I've got in here. So you mount another one in here. They'll all have a mounting hole in there as well. It's a standard screw, the same one that you find on the bottom of your camera. And this is the spot that you use to mount the camera. So this, if you look at it, I'll just hold it from there. You'll see that the camera is actually very well balanced there. So when I place this on the tripod, okay, let me just lock this into place. You're going to notice that, first of all, now no longer is the camera supporting the weight of the lens. You've got the lens supporting the weight of the camera. Now the camera is really light, so you're not really putting any stress on that mount ring anymore. And the other thing is, and I'll just loosen this up now so you can see, okay, I'm just going to loosen it all the way, okay? The camera will either fall back or forward. In fact, it goes in every direction, whereas before it just wanted to tip forward because it was front heavy. Now it's no longer front heavy. And this is the ideal setup for a tripod. The most stable that a tripod is going to be is when all of its weight is directly above it and it's just pushing straight down. So when you've got it this way, okay, most of the weight, although it is above, you've got all this weight to the side as well. So it's kind of like going this way a little bit as well. So that is the biggest problems with mounting a camera and lens of this size and weight in this sort of combination. Okay, so now that I've shown you how to mount it and how to not mount it, let me show you one of the benefits. It's really a feature of the collar that I don't hear people really talk about much. So let me turn the camera around this way so that I can show you what I mean. So most tripods will have this little, let me turn this around so you can see. I'm not sure if you can see that there. There's a little groove just there, okay? And that is there so that if you wanted to turn the camera from a landscape mode into a portrait mode, then the ball head can dip into that groove there, okay, and it allows you to do that. So if you didn't have that groove there, you couldn't go any further than that, okay? So you need the groove in there so that it can go down. And this is one of the ways that you can go from landscape into portrait. Now, the problem with this, of course, is that once you do this, the camera is once again off balance. You've got all the weight to the side of the tripod, and you've now got less weight on this leg and a lot more weight on these two legs here. So if I try to tip it this way, it's a lot easier to tip it this way than it is to go that way, okay? So this doesn't really work very well. And the other thing is this: if I let me go into landscape mode, and I'm going to use my monitor to point the camera straight at you, okay? So let's say that I'm taking a photograph of the camera that I'm filming with, and I want to go quickly into portrait mode. So what I would do is I would loosen this, and then I would go that way. And now I'm no longer facing you, right? By doing this, what I've done is not only have I moved the camera a few inches to the left, I've also lowered the height of the camera. So I've gone from up here to now down here. So let me show you a better way to do this. Let me just lock this into place. And what I'm going to do is I'm once again going to check out my monitor so that I can point it straight at you, okay? And I'm going to lock it in place. So let's say that I am taking a photograph again of you, okay? And I want to go from landscape to portrait really quickly, but I don't want to shift any of the angles. I don't want to go up or down. I don't want to go left and right. All I've got to do is loosen the tripod collar, and then watch what happens. All I'm doing is spinning the camera, okay? So the whole lens is locked by, or the axes really are locked by the ring, except for the rotation one. So as you can see, I'm looking at the monitor here. The perspective is not changing. The only thing that's changing is just the orientation of the camera. That's a much better way to do it. And there's some markings on the lenses that will help you to get exactly 90 degrees or 0 degrees so that you can get perfectly aligned horizontal and vertical shots. Okay, so I'll turn the camera this way so that you can get maybe just a better view. All I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the collar. And as you can see, everything stays absolutely still except for the rotation of the camera, okay? So this is a much, much better way to work than having to loosen up the tripod and then having to do this sort of thing and then just having to realign your images every time. With the collar, you just don't have to. Okay, so I hope that that's cleared up how to use a tripod collar. But if you do have any questions or there's something that you're just not clear on, let me know in the comment section below. That's the best place to get in touch with me. Otherwise, you can reach me through any of the usual social media platforms, and you're going to find all the links in the description below. And don't forget about ministryoffphoto.com. That's my website where you're going to find a lot of tutorials, and you'll also find things such as reviews and some downloads such as Lightroom presets. It's completely free, so make sure you check it out. That's ministryoffphoto.com. And if you found this video useful, please don't forget to click the like button. It really makes a difference to me. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. I make videos like this every week to help you with your photography. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those videos, click the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So that's everything for today. Again, please don't forget to click the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.